All right, and we are live. Okay, I think we're good. Hopefully everyone can hear me.
I'll check the audio in a little bit.
There we go. Hey everyone, Ryan from E-Bike Escape, and today we are unboxing the Ride1Up 500 series. A few weeks ago, I unboxed the Ride1Up Core 5, also step through, and this actually arrived today. So this live stream was going to be tomorrow, but Sunday works a little bit better. And I don't know if I've ever received a FedEx package on Sunday, so I was a bit surprising. It was scheduled to arrive tomorrow.
How was the condition of the box, Ryan?
So I've had really good luck with a lot of e-bikes recently. There's a few punctures, and there is here, I believe this is the handlebar. Looks like it got a little scratched up, so we'll see how that looks. And then the only other thing is on this side of the box where the handle is. They pretty much ripped out the handle is my assumption, and then it just kind of ripped from there. So, and I just posted my Core 5 step through review just the other day, so that's live if you want to check that out. That was a really fun bike, and I'll be doing a review on this bike. And we unboxed, let's see, was it last week, Tuesday, we unboxed a Ride1 4. If you can see in the corner, there's actually two Ride1s here. One is ours from 2018, the other one is my brother's. And if you give me a thumbs up if the sound sounds good. Carl asks, I'm torn between the 700 Limited or M2S 750. I know of M2S. I haven't done, I'm not familiar with that specific model. 700 series compared to the Limited. I'm sure you've already done your research and such, but it really comes down to the torque sensor, the air fork. So it's torque versus cadence. I really like the 700 series because it has hydraulic disc brakes and it comes in at $1,500. But the Limited, I ride the Limited a lot. We have over 600 miles on ours now. A Juice Hyper Scrambler 2. I wish. I've tried to, first of all, I don't know anyone that owns any of the Juice bikes. I'd love to review one of the Juice bikes, but it's sometimes difficult to work with these companies, and I can't just go out and buy every bike that I want to review. So, all right, let's lift.
Will this come with it?
Yeah, it should all come with it.
I got it.
I'm always amazed, especially with Ride1Up, how tightly they pack these boxes. It's kind of crazy. So, then we need to, you can grab that out of there. All right, and then do you have those cable snips?
Yeah, I gotta go grab them. Actually, I forgot to grab them all. So, let me go get them.
So 500 series compared to the Core 5, you're getting a larger battery, front suspension, and front light. And this is the gold edition. They call it gold, but it's really just like a brown seat and brown handlebars. I'm going to make sure, I believe I know what I think it's a 13 amp hour battery, but I'm going to confirm. Sometimes get confused on these. Let's see. Yeah, so this is a 13 amp hour battery, and the Core 5 is that 10 amp hour battery, so you're getting a slightly bigger battery with the 500 series. So the Core 5 comes in at $1095, and then the 500 series is $1195. You can order it with racks and fenders. It actually comes shipped with that, so you can't buy it aftermarket. So something to consider. I know some of the Core 5 accessories you can buy from Ride1Up. So something to be aware of. Oh, and I think we're gonna have to install the crank arm too. So as far as unboxing goes, like Ride1Up, that's probably the keys up there. You have to do a little bit more install. Obviously, if you have a bike shop do it, or you should get your bike signed off from a bike shop so that you can get the 1-year warranty that Ride1Up offers. And just a disclaimer, I am not a bike mechanic. I just kind of am learning as I'm going, as I'm setting up these e-bikes. I think this is my 4th or 5th electric bike or something, and then I think we're going to try to get this in the stand. This one weighs, at least according to Ride1Up's website, 53 pounds, I believe. Slightly heavier than the Core 5, I think mainly because of that front suspension. And one of the reasons that I kind of went with the step-through models is I think it's just really, it just makes them more accessible for folks, easier to hop on, and I think there's going to continue to be more people ordering these bikes. How much of an improvement is the torque sensor feel for you? Oh, gosh. Torque relies a little more effort because it's base. So I would echo Marx's Maximus comment. It is a little bit smoother, and it does require more effort because it relies on how much you're pushing. So cadence, as long as it senses you're pedaling, then it's going to kick on the motor. So it's kind of personal preference. The torque sensor just feels a little bit more natural, I would say, because as you're pedaling, it just kicks in more effort as needed, whereas the cadence, I mean, you don't really need to be putting any effort at all, because as long as you are moving the cranks, the motor can kick in. So, I mean, perhaps like, you know, the torque sensor is going to mean that you're working a little bit harder, but obviously, I think either way is fine. I mean, we had a cadence sensor on our rad wagon. I mean, I thought it was fine, and I still ride it, and it is fine. I mean, I don't have a really strong preference with the torque sensor. It's just different. I don't necessarily think one is better over the other. All right, so let's crack open this box. I didn't do it last time. All right, so we have the owner's manual. And this is a little bit different, I feel like. I'm not sure if I got any tools with the Core 5, I don't remember. They come in a nice bag here. And interesting, at least the branding on the charger is different. It says Sands on it. So that's kind of interesting. So this is definitely not the exact same charger that came with the Core 5, as well as the Limited, probably because the batteries are just different. And then here's another small difference between the 500 series and the Core 5. I talked about in my review video that the pedals on the Core 5, as you can see, that's set up behind, those are just really cheap plastic pedals, and I kind of recommend that you get nicer ones, but the 500 series comes with Weldo pedals. They're still not what I prefer if I have a choice. I really like grippy pedals. I've been talking about these pedals I've been using from Hafni. There's others as well. So that's what you get in the box. We'll use maybe some of those tools, but I have mine here as well. How are we doing? I'm sure it was right here. Okay. So yeah, I'll have to look to see.
Oh,
and
here this goes.
Oh yeah, that's the headset spacers.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's leave that on there, okay. And then let's see if we can get, because we can actually extend the seat post up. I'm not sure what's in here.
So let's see what's in here.
Sure. And this is kind of new too. They have this nice plastic protective cover over the battery, so that's kind of neat. And I should mention, so Ride1Up now offers step-through models in all but the Roadster V2, which is their single speed. So the 500 series has been out for some time, and we have the crank arm here. We'll have to install that. Try to set that to the side. And then, yeah, so that, the most recent addition for some of these models, the 500 series, is the step-through variation. Same with the Core 5. The Core 5 came out in 2020. I'm not actually sure how long the 500 series has been out, but the step-through is new. All right, so let's see if we can. I don't really want these to hang if we can avoid it, but we'll just go ahead and. Those are
just the spacers.
Yeah.
You want it?
Yep, go ahead and put it in there.
Lift it up kind of high here.
So because this bike is a lot lighter than.
Is it? Just a bolt?
Yeah.
Came out of your stand, I think, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Where that?
I think it was right here.
Okay.
Alright, that should hold it.
Yep. So I went over. Do you want like here? Do you want to use this to set the handlebar on?
Yeah. To be honest, the trickiest thing about installing these bikes is like the fork actually goes on pretty easily, but just getting the like all the cable jobs, and we just didn't put together the Rad-Wagon 4, and even after we did that video, we can just leave that. We had to redo because we still had some of the cables. It's just hard to notice when you're just glancing at it. So
The other spacers going in here.
and of course, if you have any questions about anything I do with e-bike escape, let me know. I'm trying to monitor the comments.
Why don't you check the comments, see if we got anything new?
The connection's so good. See if we can get this fork loose.
We'll be back in 5.
Yep. This fork is really packed in here. And so, just generally why I mean, the reason I kind of chose the 500 series and the 405 was I really wanted to see what you can get for a budget e-bike. And I know like there's not a whole lot of e-bikes in the $1,100 price range like the Core 5. I wrote about just recently that Rad Power Bikes increased prices on 3 of their models. And I kind of felt like if you're looking at the Rad Mission, you may want to look at the Core 5 because it's not just a single speed. And so that was one bike where they increased the price, though that wasn't really a surprise because the $999 price that Rad initially offered was introductory pricing, and then the other 2 models that they increased the price on was the Rad Rover, it's now $1599, and the Rad-Wagon 4 is now $1699, the same price as the Rad-Runner Plus, so that was really interesting. So pretty much anyone who bought the Rad-Wagon 4 got an incredible deal because it was initially offered at $1,500. Alright, so I got the fork out. Got one spacer here, and I know I heard another spacer fall, so I have to grab that. And of course we have the handlebars here. What's cool about all these step-through models that Ride1Up offers is they have the nice swept back bars, which I like. Gives you a little bit more upright riding. Obviously not everyone's going to prefer that, but nice to have that option. I think I'm going to move the camera a little bit closer. So yeah, here's where the box hit, or where the box got ripped open a little bit, and it's not too bad. It's just a little scratched, and you can see these nice brown handlebars, or gold, I guess, according to the website. All right, there's the light. So this bike actually has the battery on already, so I'll probably take it off in just a second just to... So I guess some of the accents here are gold. Here on the front it says Class 3 e-bike 500 watt. This bike peaks at 800 watts. If it's the same motor as the Core 5, which I believe it is, it actually peaks at 863 watts. I found that out when I was doing my Core 5 review. And so another difference between the Core 5 and the 500 series is the battery. Beyond the size, I should say, the Core 5 has a nice integrated battery, which I think looks really nice and slick. And this battery, as you'll see when I get it popped off, is a little bit more exposed. So I believe one of the spacers. Yep. There it is. Cool.
And just that one.
Yeah, awesome. This is that kind of plastic guard. It's kind of nice. So my guess is that the performance of the two e-bikes, this one and the Core 5, are going to be very similar, if not exactly the same. It's just slightly different from that in the box. So I'm going to do my best to try to see if we can get the cables working properly on the first go. Even when I did the Core 5, I had to go back and redo that. And I'm actually going to, so the keys are most often attached up here at the handlebars. I'm actually going to take these off and take out this battery and give you a little bit idea of how this kind of goes on there. I believe this might be the same, I think it is the same so Rianchin makes a lot of battery cases for a lot of e-bikes. Doesn't really matter the brand. This is if it's not the exact same, it's very similar to the Aerial Rider X-Class battery. And so there's a keyhole here, and you just unlock it, and it should just come out a little bit at an angle. So this is that 13 amp hour pack. So there you go. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer them while I'm leisurely putting this stuff together. And it's kind of interesting here. I know you can't see it because of the camera, but they have like a bash guard here on the derailleur. But I think it's just temporary because that's not made to, like a lot of brands like the Ride1Up, they have like a bash guard that looks nice. But this is just basically a metal plate to protect the Shimano Alivio shifter. And the Core 5 has Shimano Altus. So. And another thing that's really great is this kickstand, again, really far out of the way. And actually, interestingly, it looks like even further back than on the Core 5. This is a really nice gray color. Looks pretty sharp, I think. So, alrighty, so let's see what we have. So we got. So I glanced at the install video, and it should be similar to the limited as well. Got the spacer that I have to remove. It doesn't seem to want to come out. Huh. I might get a hand with this one. Yep. I don't know. That should come off.
Somebody touch it.
Yeah. Maybe try to turn it. It's come loose now.
And it's there.
So the other spacers, there we go. Okay, so got it. Other spacers came out very easily. That one was just stuck on there a little bit. And this looks like it does have some preload adjustment for the suspension. I'll be curious. I'm always a little bit wary of cheaper suspension, but some of them are okay. It's just we'll see how this one is. Always recommend having like a pair of snippers like these when you're taking apart these or putting together these e-bikes and unpacking them, because there's just so many zip ties, so many things to cut. Alrighty. Slide this out of the way. And then the suspension comes up like so.
Need this out of the way?
I think that's good. And then this little cap, as far as what I've seen on the Ride1Up install video, that goes down first, which is, it's kind of already in place, and you want to push it down. And then obviously the fork comes up, and then you install, let's see, I assume that the spacers come, I would assume it's maybe the smallest spacer. I might want to look at the video just to make sure. There's technically 4 spacers. So I'll just hold that.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking at the video. Looks like that cone one, and then the 2 spacers, and that's it. So we'll see. I guess. So this one's gonna go first. Push this. That should stick down there. There we go. And I wonder if it has to do with the height that they include this 3rd spacer. We'll have to see. That would be my assumption.
You want this one?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's see if we can get the cables.
This looks like it's twisted. Is this twisted already? Like this or not?
I think they want the front brake to come down. There's an attachment point for brake
It's
management.
not supposed to go the other way though.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it looks right to me.
Yeah. And then
Here, I'll hold the fork.
yeah.
I got the fork.
I'm gonna grab my tools quick. Yep.
Okay.
What do you think of the color?
Stylish.
Yeah. Nice, like gunmetal gray, maybe?
Yep.
And of course, you can use the tools that come with, but I really like these mini ratchet wrenches. I talk about these a lot. In fact, I need to do a video on all the tools that I use. It just makes putting together the bike so much faster. And of course, you should technically use a torque wrench.